Hey, everyone. Happy Life Day, you all. I am Almedially Exum, and welcome to my channel. It's another day, another episode of Happy Life Day motivational messages. I wanted to get it to you all earlier today, but didn't want to let a day go by without just sending some inspiration, some motivation. So happy Life Day to you all. I know there's going to be people up late tonight just wanting some extra motivation. Maybe their mind is busy. So I hope this message inspires you, motivates you, and makes you think a little bit differently about life. Happy Life Day. So, the motivational message of the day is, let me do my intro one more time. Also, you all, I'm live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And let me make sure everything is working really quickly. Before I just, get started, I want to make sure the sound works. I want to be talking to you all and no sound works or nothing. That won't be right. I want y'all to hear the message, feel the message, resonate with the message. Yeah, I'm silly. If y'all don't know, now you know. Let me see if I'm just going to make sure the sound works real quick. With the message. Okay, all right, y'all. We are in business. We are in business. Happy Life Day, like I said, you all. Again, this is Almedially X, and welcome to my podcast. You may be watching me on Facebook or YouTube. Maybe you're rewatching this on Instagram, or you're listening to this on SoundCloud, or you're catching a glimpse of this on Twitter, or TikTok, wherever you are listening to this message. Welcome. Good morning, evening, afternoon to whatever time you're watching this, and happy Life Day. Like I always like to say, happy LIFE day. Why do I say that? Why do I say happy life day? Because every day that we are living is a day to be happy. It truly is. So happy life day, y'all. The motivational message of today is don't let them keep you down. That's the motivational message of the day. And it's dealing with the whole concept of toxic relationships. So, the motivational message again for the day is don't let them keep you down, toxic relationships. All right. So, we all have maybe in our lives, if not, you're fortunate if it doesn't apply to you. But a lot of people have experienced different forms of toxic relationships. For some people, they've had relationships with their coworkers and it's just been toxic. Or people have had relationships with different like careers that they're in, or they had to encounter people that were just trying to keep them down in life. They were negative, they were unhappy, and they were trying to keep them down. Sometimes you may just, encounter just like a really negative, down, mean spirited person that happens to be your neighbor. And even though you don't want to socialize with this person, every now and again, you're walking out your house and you're like, Suzanne over there don't have nothing nice to say about anybody in the neighborhood. She's just an unhappy neighbor, so it's different types of toxic relationships. For some people experience toxic relationships in their families. You could have a sibling or maybe even a parent or auntie, uncle, that just seems like they're always trying to keep the family down. And so those are different forms of toxic relationships. And of course, there's also a more widely known concept of toxic relationships that deal with like spouses and like intimate relationships. So there's different forms of toxic relationships. And the motivational message of the day, you all, is just encouraging you to not let anybody keep you down. Do not let anyone keep you down. I heard this quote and it said that a healthy relationship, any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a career relationship, coworker relationship with your neighbors, your family, spouses, a healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your dreams, sacrifice your dignity, or even sacrifice different friendships. So I heard that, and that's something that I'm going to like roll with for this whole motivational message of the day. You all, I heard about this guy. I love giving examples. And I heard about this guy. He had a group of friends, right? And if you see me looking down, I'm checking to make sure stuff is good on my computer. And I made a few notes. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking down at. But just stick with me with this whole motivational message of the day. It's all gonna make sense. And by the end of it, I hope it leaves you a little inspired and motivated to keep going and to not let anybody keep you down. Okay. So I heard the story about this guy. He had a group of friends that he had known since childhood. They grew up together, and all he knew was this clique, this group of friends that he had, right? And they kind of shaped his identity and shaped his reality, right? All they did was hang out and have fun, right? As they got older, they kind of grew apart. They had different lifestyles. So, he went on to be a doctor, and that's the lifestyle he lived. Like he just, you know, lived in the medical field, like doing his thing as a doctor. His friends, however, one of them got into some gambling debt. The other one kind of just, was doing a lot of unlawful activity. And so he this guy who had these childhood friends that he grew up with, and they were his boys and stuff. uh as he got older, he realized, he was like, hey, I want my friends back. I want to be able to be around these guys that I always loved being around, but he realized that they were living a different lifestyle. And the guy began to feel sad, and he would try to arrange times for them to get together and them to do things, but he realized he outgrew his friends. He realized the one that was into gambling debt and the other one that was doing other activities, they just didn't fit his lifestyle. And as much as he wanted to hold on to those friendships, they compromised who he was and what he stood for. He was a doctor. He couldn't be, known for, being around people who are, or being associated with friends who get in trouble with the law. What if one of his clients found out about that? So the guy, he wanted to still have his friends in his life, but he realized he had to outgrow his friends. He outgrew his friends. And we all experience stuff like that. We've all had people in our lives who, they're not bad people, just like his friends. The one that was, getting into gambling debt, or the other one who was, you know, dealing with things like doing some unlawful activity. They're not bad people. They've just made different decisions. And sometimes we outgrow those relationships. And if we choose to stay in them, they become toxic to us. So just like this example of this guy who had to realize, hey, we were friends, childhood friends, but we've outgrown that, and that's okay. But if he was to maintain those relationships, they would bring him down. And we all experience different forms of that in our lives. Um, I heard this quote, and it says, sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows. Right? Thinking about that guy, the guy who had those friends. Has anyone ever had a friend where you just knew, like, you know, I know I shouldn't be, friends with this person anymore. I've outgrown them, but I love hanging around them. Have you ever felt that way? A lot of people have. Or have you felt that way with a family member, an intimate relationship, coworkers, neighbors, colleagues? Have you ever experienced any type of relationship where you were like, wow, this was fun back then, but it's not fun now? It was cool to break the rules back then, but it's not cool to break the rules now. It was okay to cheat the system, in fifth grade, but now it's not like that. Now I'm not okay with that. Or it used to be okay to laugh at you, make fun of these people, but I don't want to make fun of you, you know? Or just different things, like some people you outgrow, and some people just, and some relationships, people end up dragging you down or bringing you down. And sometimes the heart, like I said, it takes more time for the heart to accept what the mind already knows. Um, I heard about these two women, these friends, and they would always talk, gossip about life, and one of them was older than the other, and I guess that's always the case. Not always. I guess people could be the same age. And one woman, like these two women, like I said, they just loved hanging out. And one day, one of the friends told the other friend that she was having an affair with a married man. I know I just did it very dramatically, right? And these are all like just, different examples and stuff, right? And so this, so these two friends, they were really close girlfriends, like always talked about their life and their careers and stuff with each other. And then when one of the friends found out, that she shared with her friend, "Hey, I'm having," when she said it, I don't know how she said it. It's just an example of story. But basically, she told her friend that she was having an affair with a married man, and that friend had to decide if she was going to associate with her. And so I heard about this story, and basically what happened is the friend encouraged the other woman or whatever, "Hey, that's not cool. One day you want to be married, right? You can't be hanging out with this. You can't be dating someone else's husband." And so what happened was that friendship ended up dissolving because the woman who was doing the affair with the married man, she was upset that the friend was telling her, that she was wrong, right? Why am I saying all this? Almedia, why are you giving examples of all of this? I want to show different examples of toxic relationships, Like I said, a good relationship, even if it's a friendship, they don't drag you down. They make you better. They make you better. So in this case, a healthy relationship does not drag you down. It inspires you to be better. One friend was trying to inspire her friend to be better, to not be in a situation to where she's compromising her integrity, compromising her dignity, and these two friends who laughed about everything under the sun. It was a point where they, were talking about something and it just didn't make sense. Where one friend had to really evaluate, like, do I want to be around this person now that I know that they would, you know, be so dishonest and be a part of, potentially dissolving someone else's marriage, which is a sacred vow, it's a sacred unity. And so one friend had to decide, okay, I'm not going to just end the friendship with this person. I'm going to encourage this person to do the right thing, to end that relationship, with the married person, because that's not honest. That's not good. That's not having good integrity, you know. And once that happened, the friend who was doing the wrong action got upset, and the other friend realized, okay, if this person's going to do that, this isn't a good relationship for me to be in because they're creating toxicity in another relationship, and I don't want to be a reflection of that, right? I guess that's how they, felt. And so this is just another example of toxic relationships and how you can't let people keep you down, you all. You have to know when you're experiencing any type of toxicity, and just know when you outgrow relationships, or when you are involved with toxic relationships in any type of way, because you truly do become a reflection of the people you're around, whether they're coworkers, whether they're family, friends, intimate spouses or relationships, colleagues, neighbors. You are who you hang around. And if you choose to allow toxicity in your life, it will keep you down. And I want to encourage everyone to be uplifted and to not allow other people's toxicity keep you down. You follow me? Are you following me? I heard about these siblings, and they grew up just jealous of the other, which is very common. It's so common, like for siblings to be jealous of one another. And these two siblings, they all like their childhood, they just were just always envious of each other, always. You know, two boys, and they always was competing for their parents' attention, right? And as they got older, you would think that they would outgrow their jealousy and competition, competitive nature towards each other. And once their parents reached old age, the mother and father was like, "Hey, you all need to, you outgrew this competitiveness. Like you should be living your own lives now. Like you shouldn't still be competing with one another." And you know, their parents transition with the boys who are now men still competing with each other, still jealous of each other. This happens a lot in families and households, to where you may have an auntie that just doesn't like their nieces and nephews, or you may have a brother who's super jealous of his sister, or his younger brother or sister, or jealous of their cousin, or you may have like that one auntie or uncle who gossips about everybody and they bring down the energy. We have to evaluate who's keeping us down. But this example of the siblings, they really kind of kept their parents down. The parents didn't want them to be like, competing with each other their whole lives. And then as they became adults, they never got to see these men, you know, patch shit up and just, be loving siblings. We have to realize when we ourselves are being toxic, you know? Because sometimes you think just like gossiping or, having a little sibling rivalry is okay. But before you know it, you become so toxic that you're disappointing people around you. Does that make sense? Does it sound like I'm rambling? I'm rambling. It's okay. It makes sense. It makes sense. Rewatch this a couple of times and you're gonna resonate with some of the things I'm saying. I just want to encourage everyone to not let anyone keep you down and realize when you're around someone toxic and realize if you are experiencing any type of behaviors that's making you toxic to the relationships around you. Because at the end of the day, you all, when we are living our best lives, when we are, being motivating to others, we're coming into the room with good intentions, loving energy, we uplift the room wherever we go, and so we don't want to be the toxic person. We don't want to be the person that's bringing anyone down. We want to make sure that we're good, and we want to make sure that the people that we have around us are also resonating good energy, want the best for us, inspiring us to do better and be better people. And if people don't want to do better, be better, that is totally fine. Guess what? You don't have to be around them and they don't have to be around you. All right. I like to sometimes just bring in examples from my personal life. And so I'm going to give an example of a relationship that was kind of toxic. It wasn't really, it was like, it was, what do you call it? What do you call it when you're, I guess, colleagues? I want to give an example from my personal life. And I remember when I was in college, I was working on my writing and I remember I was super excited. I had to do like some writing projects for class and some assignments were due. And I remember you all, I had to get into groups and we had to basically come up with like short stories together, right? And there was this one girl that she always showed up to class late, always showed up to class late, never did any work, and then she just kind of wanted to be a part of groups of people who work so that she could just kind of ride the assignment. Some of y'all probably were those people in school. When it was time to be in groups, it was like, all right, who's the smart person? I want to be in your group, and then you just sit back. Okay, that was never me. But I did not like when I had to experience that, where it was just like, oh my gosh, please don't have this person join my group because they're not gonna carry any of the weight. They're just gonna let us carry all the weight in the group. So I'm gonna make a long story short. With this person, it was a writing assignment, right? And you all, I'm a writer amongst other things, and I had to write a short story. We were practicing writing short stories, and a friend of mine, I came up with this cool idea for a story, and the girl was showing up late. Like I think we had like a week to do the story, right? And I just wrote the whole story. A friend of mine, she kind of like, I think she directed it or something. And the other person who I'm talking about, who was showing up late, she didn't do anything. She just showed up late. And then she told me, because we also had to like perform in the story. She told me, hey, and I was naive. And I love people and I love just us all coming together. I wasn't too naive, but I was naive. And so she told me, hey, somebody has to be the official writer on this story. Remember, I wrote the story. It's a short story. It's a short like play we had to do, right? Someone has to be the writer on this story. Somebody has to be the editor. Someone has to be the director. And then we all have to like act in it. So, I think you all should act in it. I'm like, yeah, we should definitely act in it. And she was like, and then I should put my name on it as the story. And I was like, but you didn't write anything. And she was like, yeah, but we all have to have different things and we don't want to get in trouble or fail, And I'm like, well, why didn't you write anything? You didn't write anything. You're showing up late. And when I tell you all, I let her put her name on my story, a story that I wrote myself. We performed and directed it, and I let her put her name on it as if she like helped wrote it, came up with the story. And I said, as long as me and you know, and my friend over here who was also in the class, as long as we all know that this is my story, you just kind of tweaked it around just to make it seem like you did some work, but this is my story. We can say for the class that is your story, but it's not, you know. She was like, yeah, it's fine. We're just trying to get this assignment done or whatever. And I let her do it. I let her do it because I was just trying to be nice. And another person in the class, she pulled me aside, my friend, she was like, don't ever let someone else steal your work like that. Because she basically stole your work. And I was like, you're right. And she was like, that's not okay. She's not your friend. And she's just trying to get out. She's just trying to get through class the easy route by just stealing other people's work. And I was like, yeah, I don't like to call it stealing, yada, yada, yada. She was like, that's what it is. You know, you did all this work and you're going to let her take the credit. I was like, well, it's for the greater cause. You know, we got to like pass the class. We would have passed anyway. You know what I mean? And so I bring up this example from my personal life because I gave different examples from different, you know, stories. And so I wanted to give this example because in that case, that was a colleague. She was very toxic. She was showing up late to class. She tried to make it seem like she wrote my story. I agreed to put her name on it as if she helped develop the story, but I still wrote it. But I said we put it on the paper as if she helped develop it. She didn't develop anything. She didn't do anything. And I was like, wow, I was trying to be so nice. And this person is displaying some like toxicity. Like whenever she came in the room, she was bringing down the whole class because she was always late. She never read any of the assignments. And I just remember thinking, people don't really like her. And I like people. I like people. But I just was like, I like her, but I just don't like that she's making it hard for everyone else in the class, you know? And so that's one of my personal experiences where I just was like, I shouldn't have let her take advantage of me because that is a toxic colleague relationship. You know what I mean? Because it's different forms of relationships. And so I hope that made sense to you all. I hope that really made sense to you all. Because, like I said, remember, healthy relationships never require you to sacrifice your dreams, your dignity, your writing, your friendships, and just who you are, your integrity. You know, healthy relationships help make you better, they build you. So don't let people keep you down. You know, if you're around someone who, you know, if you're at school or homeschool, because, you know, we're in the 19s, so everyone's like, a lot of people are at homeschool. If you're, you know, even if it's a teacher, you know, who knows? Or even if it's someone on social media, don't let people keep you down. No matter what type of relationship it is, don't let people keep you down. All right. Um, if they're not making you glow, glow alone. Don't you like that? Did you hear what I said? If they're not making you glow or helping you glow and be your best self, then you glow all by yourself. Oftentimes we try to just deal with like coworkers, family members, and neighbors, and all, and of course in relationships, intimate relationships. And sometimes it's just like people keep you down. I don't want that to be you. All right. If you're around someone, if you're working or if you're catching the bus or you're on a plane and the person next to you is just glow all by yourself. Ooh, this is an extra one. This is an extra one. Okay. Sometimes when I'm like traveling or really wherever I go, like I'll be in a grocery store, people don't always be in the mood to be friendly, but I'm a free spirit. And sometimes I'll just randomly give compliments, you know, or I'll be looking at somebody and I'm waiting for them to give me eye contact. And I'm like, oh, I like your hair. And it just changes people's like energy, like, oh, thanks, you know, or I like your shoes. And because I'm random, but I like giving out compliments. Okay. But sometimes you'll be like in a grocery store or you'll be on a plane or you'll be, I don't know, like walking down the street and people just have the worst dispositions in life. Just like negative, mean, grumpy, don't speak. And I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is something funny, and I'll probably bring this up in some more motivational videos because this is just what I like to do. I like to give good energy. I love to make people feel like they matter, because you do, and that people are loved. I want people to know that they're loved because you are. And I was in the airport. This is how random I am, and this is during 19. I was in the airport and I'm a people person, even though I get really quiet and observative and I just like to scope out stuff. I am a people person. I love people. I love the earth. I love animals. I love trees, plants, plant lives matter. So I was in the airport, right? And I love giving people compliments. I love making people feel good about themselves. It's just who I am. And there was this woman. And, oh, so we were going through TSA, and if anyone's not familiar, TSA is like the security checkpoints where you have to take all your luggage and put it on the conveyor belts and do the whole body scan thing or whatever. And so there was this older woman, right? And we were going through TSA, and I just was kind of looking at her, and because I was looking around, I'm trying to make sure everything okay, everybody okay, nobody trying to bring no bomb through. You know how you are, just nosy. Just I'm observative when I'm like out and about. So I was at the airport and I see her and I'm just looking and I realize she has a happy birthday shirt on. It's her birthday. She had a shirt that said like it's my birthday or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's her birthday. No one's saying happy birthday to this woman. I'm gonna say happy birthday. Call me weird, but the universe has put us all here for something. And I think we should act. We should act out our spirit selves. You know what I mean? Like, why suppress who we are? Be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are. And so with this woman, I was like, excuse me. And she's busy putting her stuff on the belt. And then it was loud. So she just started like looking at something else. And I tapped her. I tapped her. And older woman, maybe like 50 something. And you shouldn't be tapping and touching nobody doing 19. But human contact is okay if you're being safe. And I think you never know. You never know who you're inspiring. You never know who you're inspiring just by compliments, encouragement, smiles, greetings. You never know. So I was like, I'm gonna tell her how. So I was like, excuse me. She didn't hear me. And so I tapped her. She turned around like, who was tapping? Who's touching me? I don't know nobody in here. She did have a daughter with her though. Who was her daughter was older than me, so she was an older lady. But I tapped her and I was like, happy birthday. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you. And she started laughing. She was like, and I could see that it made her day. And then her daughter looked over and smiled. I'm like, and I was like, I feel good. I made her day, but I felt good because I think she almost forgot. Like I think she was wondering, like, how did I know? I think she forgot she had on the shirt. But she's like, happy birthday. She was like, thank you. And she just started laughing and she felt better. And I felt her energy. It was a transference of good energy. That's who we should be. That's the people we should aspire to be around. Don't let anyone keep you down. All right. And if you're not around people like that who do random things, everybody don't have to be me. I'm out immediately. So everyone doesn't have to be me. But you should be around people who uplift and inspire you, people who make you feel good, inspire you to be better. So, like I said, if they're not making you glow, glow all by yourself. I be glowing. I be glowing. I be doing me, just tapping into my spirit self, you know. And that energy is felt by others. And every great person who aspires to be anything, their energy resonates within us. Think about Michael Jackson. Think about Michael Jordan. Think about Whitney Houston. Think about Beyonce. When you think about these people, or someone I really like, Viola, I love all those people I named, but like Viola Davis, Denzel Washington. Even when you say their name, their energy resonates with you because of how they've impacted the lives of so many. That's how I want to be. And I don't even have to try hard. If I'm just being myself, I don't have to try hard. That matters. People remember your energy. Energy is transferable. Release toxic energy and people who are creating toxic relationships in your life and embrace the glow up. And if no one is making you glow all by yourself. All right. All right. I want you to know that you deserve love, happiness. You deserve happiness, love, joy, and peace. You hear me? You deserve happiness, love, joy, and peace. Yes, yes, yes. Now, that is the motivational message of the day. I know I was a little passionate there, but I couldn't help it. I hope it inspired you. I hope it motivated you. I hope it made you think. I'm going to start calling this motivation fruits. Fruits from the tree of life, y'all. Thank you so much again for your support. Remember to click that like button and the subscribe button and go and watch some of my old videos or previous videos on motivation and other things, any of the topics that I cover on my channel. And just check it out. You never know. It may make you feel better. It may make you laugh, you know. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and SoundCloud at my name, which is Almedia Exxon. And remember that you are loved, you are valuable, you matter, and remember to have a happy life day.